experience, in the NFL, and a lot of local flavor with UCF. Had a lot of success there. A lot of competitive, situation going on here with our receivers. Um, so Doug's working his way through our camp. Certainly the expectations are high, and so he's going to have to acclimate himself into what we're doing to be a part of this. The resume is great, but he's going to have to step up and earn a spot in this team, just like everybody else. He's doing well, though. He's doing well. He's picking it up. Tomorrow will be big for a lot of our receivers, specifically. Bobby Scipio suspended week 1. We've got to find 2 guys for essentially to fill in when we go to New Orleans. And there's a big fight for that spot. And Doug's fighting for one of those spots. So tomorrow's big, a preseason game. We've only had 1 day in pads, so I'm not sure what to expect tomorrow. They've been in camp for a week and a half. We started later because of the week 1 bye. So could be a little sloppy. That's okay. I think, basically mentally, I think the guys got what we put in and grasp it. And hopefully we'll just turn them loose tomorrow and they can do what they do, keep it simple. And that's big for Doug and all of our guys tomorrow.
I know you always want to get the best players, but how nice is it to be able to have some local guys, some tie-ins there? You got 3 UCF guys in camp with you this year.
It's nice having local flavor. I think, off the field, it's good to have local flavor for our fan base, recognizable names. So I think we have 3. I'd like to continue to build on that relationship with UCF to get players in here and compete for spots on our team. I think that's good. But at the end of the day, they have all got to compete for spots. Locality is big in this league with the new model of what we do with personnel. You like to have guys that live in town. That's always a positive thing, and it's easier on them logistically when they live here. So it's nice having those 3 guys, and they're all competing for spots. Prisoner Nelson, Sergio Joaquim, and Doug. And hopefully we'll see how they do tomorrow night. Hopefully they'll still be around after camp.
New Amway Center will be playing. Have you seen the arena inside? What do you think of the new arena now going into the season?
It's so nice. I've been to a few events. Took my kids to wrestling and circus, and from day 1 they hung our banners up there and they got spotlights up there, and the Magic's in there, and they've made it our home too. They've been great. It's nice to see that. We had open house a week and a half ago. Was a Predators open house, which was amazing too. And the field was down. It's a brand new field, 20-year anniversary of our team, new arena. It's just lining up for success. It'll be important, put the right product out there to represent that. And we're working very hard to do that right now. And it's just really, really exciting. I still can't believe they're going to let us play in there. I keep waiting for a man to come up to me and say, "Coach, they're really not going to let you play in there." It's too nice for you blue-collar arena football players. But yeah, it's a treat. We're very fortunate. And so, the expectations are high, as they should be. They always are here. This is a team with a lot of tradition, and I certainly was a part of that tradition as a player. And, I feel really strongly about that tradition, what we have to do this year. So let's start in New Orleans. So,
What did you learn from last season coaching, here for the first time, first year as a head coach, now you're going to take into this season?
A ton. Every day is a learning experience. You wear a lot of hats as a head coach in the Arena Football League, especially now. You're limited a little bit with your staff. So learned a ton about this guy right here, especially going through adversity. And the one thing that had stuck in my mind in being under Coach Marcum for a lot of years in Tampa, we went through some tough stretches there. There was a time in Tampa when I was offensive coordinator, we lost 6 in a row. And Coach was always like, stick with the plan and remain consistent, because we have the right plan, and we have the consistency, and we need to stay consistent in what we're doing and get the guys to buy in that approach. That rung in my head a lot when we were 0-3, and we stayed consistent, kept our poise, and some young players. We didn't go out and scrap the team. Last year we cut 1 player the whole year during the season. That's very unique, as you know, Jason. A lot of turnover. I felt like we had the right people. They just needed to develop. And I think patience and consistency really helped. That's the biggest thing I learned, is to go back to that coaching trait. And it worked out. I learned a ton from that. The other thing I learned is my skin got a lot thicker through the tough times. And so, it's always a learning process as a coach, no matter if you've been coaching for 1 year or 30 years. So try to maintain the same approach and consistency with our players and treat them the same way, be consistent with them, and then hopefully you get that on the field. And we ended up getting that last year on the field.
What is your off season like? It's kind of different than other leagues. You don't have all the OTAs and stuff like that, but constantly, I'm just assuming, evaluating talent and deciding how you want to build the roster.
It's a lot of work. It's different. There's no draft. There's no AFL draft. Okay. So what I try to do as a personnel director is I really try to break it all down into categories. You've got your AFL veteran free agents. You've got NFL cut guys who probably don't have that window to go back to the NFL. And then you try to find out if they're fit or they have the want to come play arena football. Then you've got guys that are coming out of college, slip through the cracks. You've got those guys. You've got other indoor leagues in the off season. You'd evaluate them. And then you've got guys that street free agents come to open tryout. You get 100 guys out there. There might be one that opens your eyes. That's how Barry Wagner was found at an open tryout, in 1992. So you've got to break that all down so you don't get overwhelmed, because you get hit with hundreds of emails every day from players that want to play football. And you got to really kind of break down who they are and put them in the right category and see if they're a fit for our game, because it's a different game. So I think the off season is critical. Basketball, you can put two or three players out there like the Heat did. Wow, right? You've got 8 men on offense and 8 men on defense. You can get a couple key guys in there that can be difference makers. And then the most important thing to me, other than the talent, is the locker room and the chemistry of it. So we try to get the right people that kind of fit our philosophy of what we're about. When you have the chemistry, talent and chemistry equals wins. That's kind of my philosophy.
Coach, you're going to see Tampa tomorrow. First time without Marcum, your mentor. What's it going to be like going up against Dave? You worked with Dave there too.
Yeah, I worked with Dave for years, and that whole situation with Coach is a difficult situation on a lot of levels. And regardless of what's been said or written or what he did or didn't do, I love the guy.
Yeah.
He gave me my first opportunity. He was so good to me. There's a whole other side of Tim Marcum that people don't even know that. I love the guy. I do, and he's a special person to me. Certainly, some of the things that have been very public that went on, it's tough. It's tough, and I'm gonna miss him. I want to compete against Coach Marcum. He's the best. And but Dave knows that system, and he'll carry on that same type of Tampa Bay Storm football, and the championship will still go through Tampa.
Yep.
It always does. Dave will have that team ready. He may have to go through some personnel moves here and changes and get his philosophy going, but it's not going to change a whole lot. I expect the War on I-4 to still be a very competitive, and violent game.
Jake Gruden now in the NFL with Cincinnati Bengals. Your thoughts on him getting the move up to the NFL, and how you feel he'll fare there?
Well, that's where he belongs. I really think Jay held off on his NFL move for a number of years because, people don't realize. He's very much a family guy. He's got 3 boys. He's lived here for a long time. And I think keeping his family intact and being around them, and the work schedule in the NFL is a lot different than an arena schedule for a coach. As far as hours, it was time, and it's such a great opportunity. He's going to do amazing in the NFL. He's a very bright mind and a very, very good coach. I learned a ton from him. He helped me a lot when I got the job and had to scramble. He was very helpful to me, and I love to see arena guys move on to the NFL. That's a beautiful thing. And that's what we're about too. We want our players, as much as we might miss them, we want to help them get to the next level. You come out here and work hard in a different economic model here. Some of these guys are here for a reason. They want to move up. So we try to help facilitate that.